सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादम् शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Bhagavan Bhashyakara introduces this Upanishad. He points out that this is an Upanishad. This is not part of some karma, not unlike other mantras which are used in various Vaidika karma, yajna, etc. rituals. Whereas these mantras, even though they occur in the Samhita portion, the mantra bhaga of the Shukla Yajurveda, still these are Upanishad. They do not belong to karma. They are not applied. They are not used in karma. He points out this first. He points out that these mantras, and that too in particular, the first 8 mantras talk about Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa alone. So that he introduces that. We'll read the introductory portion. Īśāvāsyam ityādayaha mantraha karmasu aviniyuktaha tesham akarmaseshasya atmanaha yathaඥa prakāṣakatvat. Acharya takes Bhashyakara takes the first 2 words of this Upanishad, Īśāvāsyam, taking the words and then talking about them. This is called, taking the word is called pratika, pratikam adaya, taking to the pratika, usually the first few words, and then it talked about Īśāvāsyam iti adayaha mantraha. Bhashyakara makes it they are mantraha. That is, they occur in the Samhita portion. Samhita bhaga antargataha. They obtain within the Samhita bhaga alone. And what are these mantras? Totally 18. Usually we have 18 in number. Oh, then these mantras beginning with Īśāvāsyam iti ādayaha. Adi, beginning. Then Adayaha, that which begin with this mantra. Īśāvāsyam, the mantras beginning with Īśāvāsyam. These are mantras. Alright, even though they are mantras, Bhashyakara points out, karmasu aviniyuktaha. Viniyoga, viniyukta, employed, utilized, prescribed, etc. That is viniyukta. All the mantras are prescribed. These mantras are to be chanted at this time, during this ritual, etc. It's all very specifically determined. Whereas these mantras are not viniyuktaha, aviniyuktaha, not prescribed, not utilized, not applied, not used, where karmasu. Okay? So in the karma, Vaidika karma, it is not used, they are not part of any karma. That he makes clear. The Mīmāṃsā Shastra discusses which mantra is to be used, in which place, in which yaga, etc. The Mīmāṃsā Shastra very plainly talks about. And they have various methods of ascertaining which is to be used, where is to be used, etc. Used means applied, utilized, employed, chanted. These are all very clearly determined in the Mīmāṃsā Shastra. They have various methods as well. Like in the Vedanta Shastra, we have the Shadlinga, etc. Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, Apurvata, Phalam, then Arthavada, Upapatti, these 6 Shadlinga we have. Similarly, they have some methods of ascertaining. But these mantras are not to be, not mentioned, not to be used anywhere in karma. That makes it clear. Karmasu aviniyuktaha. Only here Bhashyakara, in this Upanishad alone, Bhashyakara mentions Karmasu aviniyuktaha. It begins like this. Karmasu aviniyuktaha, not employed in karma. Why he has to say so? Because this occurs in the Mantra Upanishad. And therefore, sitting right in the middle of this Mantra Bhaga, Samhita Bhaga. Okay, so therefore he makes that Karmasu aviniyuktaha. Why so? Why he says so? Because some people take them either as part of karma, has to be chanted as part of some karma, or some of them say it is for the sake of repetition, for japartaha. Japartaha ime mantraha. These mantras are for the sake of repetition, japa, chanting alone. No specific result accrues, but just for the sake of japa it is there. What does japa give? Chitta shuddhi, etc. They say. But Acharya makes it clear, even though they are mantraha, and still they are karmasu aviniyuktaha. Remember, japa also is a karma. Japa is a manasam karma alone. Even dhyanam, we count it as karma alone. Because there is a Veda is there, Kartrutva is assumed, and then Dvaita, it's all taken as real. Therefore, even meditation, we take it as karma, manasam karma, we say. But here, this is not part of any karma. Why so? Because he says, Tesham means of those mantras, Tesham mantranam, akarma seshataya, akarma seshasya, atmanaha yathatmya prakashakatvat. Gives a reason. Tesham prakashakatvat. They reveal, they throw light on, they illumine, prakashaka. They are the illuminers. They illumine, throw light on. Light on what? Yathatmya. Yathatmya is the true nature, as it is. Yatha Atma. Atma here does not mean Satchidananda, but then a thing as it is. The Swarupa is called Atma. Like even we can say, the Swarupa, the Atma of the table is wood, right? The Atma of the wave is water. That means Swarupa. Yatha Atma, as a thing is, as it is, as truly it is. That is Yatha Atma. And that Yatha Atma nature is Yathatmya. It's called a Tadita word. Like Panduputra becomes Pandavaha, right? Kunti Putra becomes Kaunteya. Similarly, this is a Tadita word. Yatha Atma, and Tadbhava is Yathatmyam, the true nature of. Throw light on true nature. True nature of what? Atmanaha. Bhashyaswara says, Atmanaha Yathatmya Prakashakatvat. They illuminate, they reveal the true nature of Atma. What is this Atma? Is Atma Karta? Acharya says, no. Karta is a part of karma. In the Vedika karma, Karta also is an Anga. The one who does this sankalpa, I will do this karma for the sake of this result, right? This person is the Karta. Is Atma a Karta? No, Atma is not a Karta also. Therefore, there is no indication in this mantras there are nothing in this mantras to indicate that these are part of some karma. But then, what is talked about as we see, as we analyze, through the Shadlingas that we have, they talk only about Atma, Swarupa alone. And this Atma is not a Karta, not a Bhokta. Acharya says, is not a part of any karma. Karma Sesha. Akarma Seshataya. Akarma Seshasya is equal to Atmana. Atma which is not a Karma Sesha. Not Karma Sesha is a Karma Sesha. Sesha here means connected, related to Sambandha. Atma is not connected to any karma. Atma is not a Karma Sesha. Sesha here is connected to, related to, something connected to karma. Like even in the yaga, say there is a mantra chanted by this Yajamana, by the person for whose sake, who does the sankalpa, and then this yaga is performed, Yajamana. And then there is a time, there is a place, and there is the altar, fire altar, Vedi is there. And then there is a proper invocation of fire in that altar is there. And then offering, Dravya is there, ghee, etc. Dravya offering is there, mantras are there, Devata is there. And then there may be subsidiary, Upangas may be there, some preliminaries may be there. These are all Anga of Yaga. Like even the human body, we have hands and legs, etc. These are limbs of the body. So too, this mantra, Devata, all these are Dravya, these are all the limbs of Yaga. Atma is not the limb of any Yaga. It's not part of it. Why so? Because Akartru, Abhoktru. So, and then Kartrutva, as we know, as the Shastra reveals, no, Kartrutva is only in ignorance, in avidya only, one takes oneself to be a Karta, whereas truly oneself, Atma is not a Karta. So therefore, Bhashyakara briefly points out, Atma akarma seshaha, na karma seshaha, akarma seshaha, nany tatpurusha. Not a karma sesha. Atma is not karma sesha. So, why it is not part of any karma? These mantras are not part of any karma. Why? Because they talk about Atma, which is not part of any karma. That's it. Therefore, these are not, the mantras are not employed in karma. Karmasu avinuktaha, because tesham akarma seshasya is equal to atmanaha yatatmya prakashakatva. So this refutes the some people thinking that Atma is a karta and Atma becomes the yajamana in the karma. Therefore, Atma also is the anga of every karma. Some people think so. Bhashyakara negates that. There is no indication to say that Atma is a karta, or this mantras are using karma. There is no indication, there is no pramanam. There is no pramana. There are some pramana. Pramana means an indication, a mention will be there, a mention will be there, or sometimes indication will be there, directly or indirectly. Use this in this karma. Right? Like even for example, Swargakamaha Jyotishtomena Yajeta. There is one there. Jyotishtomena Yajeta Swargakamaha. This is the Vakya is there. So, Jyotishtomena Yajeta Swargakamaha. Swargakamaha. One who is desirous of gaining Swarga after this life. Right? So, that Swargakamaha. Swargam kamayate iti Swargakamaha. One who is desirous of gaining heaven after life. That person, in order to gain the heaven which is the end, Swarga which is the phalam, result, what should the person do? Jyotishtomena yajeta. Jyotishtoma. Jyotihi plus stoma. Stoma is stuti, praise. Prayers, praise, etc. And there are a set of mantras, and then using those mantras, there is this particular yaga called Jyotishtoma. Jyotihi, light. And then the stoma, praise. The praise of the light, the effulgent one. Jyotishtoma is the name of a yaga. And that particular yaga, what mantra is to use, and then what to do, etc. That's all. Details are also there. So this vidhi, that injunction says, yajeta, may one perform this, perform Jyotishtoma. May one, by performing Jyotishtoma, the person who is Swargakama, may one do Jyotishtoma in order to accomplish Swarga. Is the mantra is there. There is a yajeta, very explicit vidhi is there, injunction is there. May one do this. And who the adhikari is mentioned. Swargakamaha, the adhikari is mentioned. Who is to do this? Right? That is mentioned. And also, for what Swarga is indicated. The phalam also is indicated. The adhikari indicated. The Swargakamaha, the adhikari is indicated. The result also is very clearly shown. Swarga is very clearly mentioned. And then, by what? Through what? By performing Jyotishtoma. The means are also very clearly indicated. So this is a explicit mention is there. Yajeta is there. And then who Yajeta is mentioned. Through what? What Yajeta? For what? Etc. These are all very clearly mentioned. Very direct, clear, direct mention of something is there. And then there is another vakya like Dadna Juhoti. There is a mantra. Right? Juhoti means offers. Offers unto Agni, the Yaga Agni. What does the person have to offer? What does the person have to offer? No? Dadhi, curds. Okay? Make with the cow's milk and with mantra purvaka, do samskara, purification, etc. Chants, etc. are there. And then certain tantras are also may be there. Certain symbols, etc., signs, etc. they may use. Certain actions they may do, and then thereby they purify the dadhi. And that purified dadhi curd, by using the curd has to be offered. Very mention is there. What to offer is also there. So there is, in many places there is explicit mention is there. And in some places things are indicated, not directly said but indicated. Here, these mantras, with reference to these mantras, there is no mention here. Chant these mantras and then do this yaga. There is nowhere. Here there is none, no mention at all. Nor anywhere else also. Nowhere it is mentioned. Īśāvāsyam ityādi mantraha asmin karmani prayoktavyaha. These mantras are to be chanted in this karma. No mention, no indication also anywhere. Therefore, there is no pramanam. Right? Why no pramanam? It occurs in the Samhita bhaga, in the mantra bhaga. That itself is an indication. What will come in a mantra bhaga? Mantras only will come. Right? So mantras only will be there. Right? What is a mantra bhaga? What is a Upanishad bhaga, etc.? They are not essentially decided by the place where they occur. Right? Not essentially the place. Suppose I were to go to China, okay? I were to live in Beijing, say for 2 years. Just because I am in China, I don't become Chinese. I don't become a China person. I don't become Chinese. I am in China, alright, but I am not Chinese, okay? So, just because the mantras occur in this Samhita Bhaga, it does not automatically mean that these mantras just belong to, are part of some karma or other. It's not automatic, it's not there. That's why the Mimamsa is there. Mimamsa, very need for Mimamsa, inquiry, analysis is necessary because the Veda is there and then we have to make a proper sense out of all that. Therefore, the Mimamsa is necessary. Therefore, here just because they occur, these mantras occur in Samhita portion, does not automatically mean, right, that. But then what is it? Why is it there now? Well, that's how it is, that's all. Why it is there now, we must go and ask the Rishi who put it under this Samhita Bhaga. Right? It is somewhere I read, some acharyas mentioned, there was one Rishi, Dadhyang Atharvanaha. Dadhyang Atharvanaha. That Rishi is that great Rishi, the Rishi for this mantras. It is mentioned. Dadhyang Atharvana is the Rishi for this mantras is mentioned. Alright. So, why are these mantras in the Samhita Bhaga? We must go and ask Dadhyang Atharvana Rishi only. Sir, Reverend Sir, Revered Sir, why did you put this in this mantra? Dadhyang would say, I did not put it here. These were there, that's all. Right? These were there. Before me, these were there. They have been there. So, they just happen to be in this portion, that's all. Right? That's how Veda is. If Veda is a work of, and as the work of created by is a composed by some person, then we can ask, that's a Purusha. It's a work of a Paurushaya, it is born of somebody's intellect, somebody's knowledge, wisdom, but this is not born of any Purusha. Of course, it is only the medium, the Rishi is maybe seen as the medium through whom the mantras stand revealed, that's all. The mantras, Rishis are not the Kartaraha, not mantra Kartaraha, they are mantra Drashtaraha only. Just to them the mantras were revealed. It happens revealed through them. They were ready, they were sort of, we can say, tuned to receive this. See, we can see this example in many places. We can see where is suppose there is an All India Radio, okay, radio station is there. Which radio station? Delhi station. Where it is there now? Here also it's available. All India Radio you can receive. Where is it? You need an antenna. It's a receiver you need. You have a receiver, then the radio waves are there here. There here. But then, without the tuning, you don't receive the radio waves. So this is an example given. So, if a person's mind is tuned to receive these truths, then these are revealed mantras revealed through them. is an explanation given. Okay. So, Rishi, the Dadhyangathurana Rishi, or whoever it may be, did not create this mantra. They were there. That's all. Vedas are there. And then we have to analyze, we have to find out what does it mean, etc. Now we know that Veda has these two bhaga, right? Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. The portion Kanda dealing with karma and upasanam, that is Karma Kanda. In some places we mention Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and then Jnana Kanda we mention. So there also the Upasana Kanda is part of Karma Kanda only. Upasanam we see as a Manasam Karma only. Right? Upasanam is Manasam Karma. Dhyanam is also Manasam Karma. Japa, prayer, these are all Manasam Karma. They are all mental action they are. So, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda, two portions are there. And for these two, why we say Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda? Why not say just Veda? Yes, Veda. Veda has these two divisions, these two parts are there. How do we say these two parts are there? It is one book, one book talking about two pursuits. Two pursuits are there. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita Bhashya, Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga, which Krishna also indicates, Lokesmin, Dvividha Nishta Pura Prokta Mayanagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam, the third chapter, Krishna mentions. So, two margas, the Pravritti Marga and the Nivritti Marga, these are there. People pursue. These are there means people pursue, that's all. People take to this. Some take to Pravritti, right? Engagement, and then more and more engagement, activity, result, etc. Whereas some others are not given to Pravritti Marga, they take to Nivritti Marga. Right? They refrain from Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, invoking Kartrutva, which is indicated by refraining from karma, yagadi karma. It's called Nivritti Marga. These two are there. People have these two pursuits, right? It is not just because Veda says, I do this, Veda says, I don't do this, I refrain. This is my pursuit. Manushya pravritti is there. Jiva pravritti is there. So, these two pravrittis which are there in the human being, for accomplishing ends in the pravritti marga and nivritti marga, Veda is the pramanam. And therefore, there are these two bhagas, kandas, this division is there. Jnana kanda and karma kanda is there. And further, as I just said, people have two different distinct pursuits, pravritti and nivritti. And those who have pravritti take to karma kanda as the means. And those who take to nivritti marga, who are inclined towards that, they take to jnana kanda predominantly as the main focus. Even people who take to karma kanda also, they also study Upanishad, they also have the Upadesha, right, is there. But then, that is not their primary pursuit, primary focus, right? It is not. There are roles to play, there are responsibilities, and then there may be even desires to fulfill, right? That's all pravritti marga. So the person has to attend to those, attend to roles, responsibilities, duties, etc. Kartavyam is all there. So in kartavyam one takes upon oneself. Also it is thrust upon, right? One is asked to perform, fulfill certain roles, take certain role, it's all there. So the person takes to various roles. So karma kanda addresses that person. So that is called the adhikari. The adhikari for karma kanda is different. Adhikari for the jnana kanda is different, right? Sadhana chaturthaya sampannaha, etc. We see Vivekavan, Vairagyavan, etc. Mukshuhu, these are the adhikari. And then not only that, the very content, what is being talked about, the Vishaya also, that is distinct. Karma Kanda talks about various means and ends. Aihika, Amushmika, here and hereafter. Those ends Karma Kanda talk about. Whereas Jnana Kanda talks about the truth alone, the reality it talks about. Atma being Brahma, myself being Atma, and that Atma, me the Atma being Brahma, the truth of everything. This is what the Jnana Kanda talks about. So the Vishaya is different. And also, Phalam, the result is different. Right? The Karma Kanda result is Aihika, Amushmika, here and hereafter results. Laukika, Paralaukika results. Whereas, Jnana Kanda result is not something which is gained newly. It's only Ajnana Nivritti, Siddhasya, Siddhihi, is accomplishing the ever accomplished, gaining the ever gotten. Praptasya, Praptihi, Siddhasya, Siddhihi. It is not Sadhyasya, Siddhihi. In Karma Kanda, Swarga, like Swarga, etc., is not accomplished now. I may do, I the Karmi, I the Sankalp, I the Karma Karta, I may do Jyotishtoma for the sake of Swarga, but then Swarga is right now, it is not there for me. It is Sadhya, yet to be gotten, yet to be accomplished. Okay? Karma I accomplished now, but the result is yet to be gotten now. That is Sadhya. It is not available now. I am not in Swarga now. I am in Loka, Ihaloka I am. And therefore, Karma Kanda talks, the result of Karma Kanda is always Sadhya. Sadhyasya Siddhi there. Here it is Siddhasya Siddhi. My being Atma, Atma being Brahma, and then Brahma being the truth of everything. It's a Siddham it is. Therefore, the Phalam of Jnana Kanda is distinct from Karma Kanda Phalam. Alright. And what is this Siddhasya Siddhihi? Moksha, right? The Jivan Muktihi, fulfillment, discovering the innate fulfillment. That is the Moksha, Jivan Mukti, that is the Phalam of Jnana Kanda. So, the Phalam also is different. And then, any relevant Sambandha, the connections, right? Interconnection between the various factors, Sambandha, they are also different. Therefore, Adhikari, Vishaya, Phala, and Sambandha, the Anubandha Chatushtaya, this is totally different for Jnana Kanda and Karma Kanda. And therefore, they are distinct. They are two distinct portions. This we have seen, we see that, right? Anubandha Chatushtaya is different for the Vedanta Jnana Kanda. Then therefore, how do we ascertain the Vishaya? Atma is the Vishaya of Upanishad, Jnana Kanda. How do we know? The Shadlinga is there for the Tatparya Nirnaya. The 6 indications, 6 marks to ascertain the import, the focus, the emphasis of Jnana Kanda. Yes, the Atma, we understand through the Shadlinga. Right? This Shadlinga is not there in the Jnana Kanda. Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa, etc. These Shadlingas, we don't see in the Jnana Kanda. You see something else. Swarga Kama means Swarga alone is there. And then Kama means desirer is there. Karta is there. And then Yajeta indicates do this with Jyotishtoma, etc. Karma is there. Dravya is there. Veda Buddhi is there. That's what they talk about. Whereas the Jnana Kanda, the Vishaya is totally different. And therefore, Pratak Shastram. Though both are part of Vedas, Anubandha Chatushtaya being distinct, this is a different, distinct, this is a distinct entity, and therefore the Purva Mimamsa, which discusses, analyzes the Karma Kanda Vakyas, the portions, that does not cover Jnana Kanda. What applies for Pravritti Marga, what criteria that will apply for Pravritti Marga will not apply for this Nivritti, will not apply. Go, stop, okay? For saying go, there are rules for going, how to go, where to go, how, which way to go, right? Etc. will be there. And that will not apply for stop, okay? Run, stop. They are told this thing. Therefore, the Purva Mimamsa does not cover this Uttara Mimamsa, namely Vedanta. And it is for this very reason that Bhagavan Vedavyasa, right, wrote this Brahma Sutra also. Right? We have the Brahma Sutra discussing the Tatparya of the Upanishad Vakyas. This thing, Uttara Mimamsa, Brahma Sutra is there. Therefore, here the Purva Mimamsa does not cover this karma, this Jnana Kanda. It covers only Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda alone. It covers. In the Purva Mimamsa Shastra, there is this Jaimini Sutras are there. Jaimini Sutras are there. Purva Mimamsa Sutras are there. Like we have Brahma Sutra, there is Jaimini Sutras are there. And then there is a Bhashya is there, Vivarana is there, etc. A lot of explanation, commentaries are there. Very, very lucid, very like commentaries which throw light on the intricate parts, intricate portions of the Vedas. Very many intricacies which would otherwise not be known. And because of not knowing them, the Veda would look very confusing. Right? Look at the Veda, it's all very confusing. You read any Shakha, any Brahmana, etc., there is any seeming connection between one part and another part. There isn't any connection at all. Just in isolation, they are just look like everything put together. So it does not seem to be arranged. There is no any particular order, etc. Very confusing. It could be. But then the confusion is because that's how it is. Veda is, and then but thanks to the Purva Mimamsa, every part of the Veda is falls in place where is to be used. Like even suppose you go to tool room, okay? There is a mechanics tool room is there, and then the tools are there all over. Of course, the person has put the tools all in place, but then where is what we do not know. Big tool room, a big factory is there, and there's a tool room is there, and then variety of tools are there. There's a storeroom is there, and then you see thousands and thousands of parts are there. You don't know which is where, right? You don't know. But then when they are organized properly, and then labels are there, then anybody can locate which tool, where is it, which part, where is it, no one can locate. Now we have the, what do you call that, inventory sheet, etc. is there. Locate which bin, which box you can find this part. It's all very clear. In kitchen also, at home, people do that. Put labels on the containers, etc. So, arranging them, organizing them, etc. Like that, the Mimamsa does that part. Okay? Mimamsa Shastra does it. So, in that Mimamsa, in the Jaimini Sutra, there is a mention. There is a sutra is there. The entire Veda is connected, is to be seen as connected to karma only. Amnayasya kriyartatvat. This is one sutra. Amnaya is Veda. The entire Veda is meant for kriya, karma. Amnayasya kriya arthatvat. Artha here is purpose. For the sake of karma alone, the Veda is there. This is a sutra. Amnayasya kriyartatvat. What if something is not connected to karma in the Veda? Then the sutra itself continues. Anarthakyam atadarthanam. Tadartha, karma artha, for the sake of karma, connected to karma, applied in some karma, that is tadartha. Not connected is atadartha, right? Not tadartha, atadartha. Portions of Veda, if they are not connected to, linked to any karma, atadarthanam, mantranam, anarthakyam. Artha is meaningfulness, purposefulness. Anartha is meaningless, purposeless, useless. Anarthakyam, uselessness, purposelessness will be there for those portions of the Veda if they are not connected to, linked to some karma. This is part of it. This is a sutra. Amnayasya kriyarthatvat anarthakyam atadarthanam is a sutra. And the people who see that Upanishad also is it talks about karta, right? They say Upanishad talks about Atma, you say, but then Atma is the karta. They say Atma is the karta. Karta of what? Of the yaga. Simple. And therefore, Atma is karta. Karta of yajna. And therefore, Atma is connected to yajna. It is a anga for yajna. And therefore, this is a part of Puru Mimamsa only, they say. And then, here, when Jaimini Maharishi says Amnaya, the scope of that, the word Amnaya, that sutra is only Karma Kanda only, Purva Bhaga only. Any mantras in the Purva Bhaga here means Karma Kanda, right? Any mantras are to be seen as being connected to some karma or other, some yajna or other, some Vaidika karma or other, it has to be connected. Otherwise, what for they are there? They are redundant, useless, purposeless. I cannot have a piece of information, okay? Like even the train journey from Delhi to Mumbai takes 18 hours, something like that, in the part of some Veda somewhere. How is it connected to Veda? Not all connected. Or somewhere blah 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 blah. Why is it there? No? Useless, meaningless. Even there are some words like hum, pat, etc. The words are swaha, swada. These are words are there with which, uttering which the offering is done. Indraya swaha. Saying swaha, that offering is offered to Indra, the Lord. So, Varunaya swaha, Agnaya swaha, etc. they say. So, these words, swaha, swada, etc., these words are not seen to have any specific meanings. One may try to derive something, right? Derive these words from some root, some dhatu, etc. Try to give some meaning, but then essentially there is no meaning. But then they are there in the Veda, hum, pat, etc. These are there. Okay? Of course, we hear this in the Pauranika karmas, we see hum, pat, etc. So, why are there? They have to be chanted, that's all. They have to be chanted. Chanting this, saying this sound, saying this word, you offer, that's all. So, in that way, they are connected to karma. Right? Humpata, swaha, they are connected. So, when in the sutra, Amnayasya Kriyartatva sutra, the word Amnaya refers to Karma Kanda only, not to Jnana Kanda. Why Kriyartatvam you mention, right? For the sake of karma you mention. Karma means the Anubandha Chatushtaya, Adhikari Vishaya, that's all different. Whereas in the Upanishad, there is nothing connected with karma. Right? Karta is not given reality, whereas it is sublated. Badha is done. Kartrutva Badha is there, right? Whereas in Karma Kanda, Kartrutva Adanam is there. Take to Kartrutva, right? Assume that Kartrutva is real, and then Karma is there. And then, assuming that the duality is real, then Karma Kanda is proceeds, right? Karma Kanda assumes that Dvaita is real. Does not say that Dvaita is real. In fact, Veda does not say that Dvaita is Satyam. What is already Siddha in the Purusha's mind, Purusha Buddhi Siddha it is. Dvaitam Asti, Dvaitam Satyam, Aham Karta. These are all Aham Bhinnaha, Ishvarat Bhinnaha. These notions are already Purusha Buddhi Siddha. And taking to that, what is Purusha Buddhi Siddha? Then the Vedas talk about Karta, Karma, Phalam, etc. They talk about. They do not say that the Kartrutva, etc. is real. They are all real. Veda does not say. Right? It only takes what the individual takes oneself to be, karta, etc. Dvaitam, Satyam, etc. That Veda goes along with that. There is this abhyupetya, something, assuming, going along with the person's thinking, idea, then the Veda enjoins this. Alright, therefore, here, the word amnaya refers only to karma kanda, does not refer to jnana kandam. Amnaya does not refer the entire Veda, only the karma kanda only covers. And therefore, the Upanishad bhaga does not fall under the inquiry, vichara of the Purva Mimamsa. Does not fall under. Vinna Shastram it is. And therefore, Acharya points out here, Vashakara, Atmanaha, that is, Akarma Seshasya. Atma is not a Karma Sesha. And therefore, they are not part of Karmasu, they are not utilized in karma. Karmasu avinyuktaha. Not only the pramana is not there, that these mantras are part of karma, there is no pramana, etc. Not only that, but also evidently there is a contradiction. This is different. That he points out here. Yathatmyam cha atmanaha shuddhatva apapa viddhatva ekatva nityatva ashariratva sarvagatattvadi vaksyamanam tacca karmana virudhyeta iti yuktaha eva yesham karmasu aviniyogaha tacca karmana virudhyeta. It is contrary, it is opposite to, different from. This is not in the light of, in the spirit of karma. Virudhyeta. Virodha also is there. Okay. Pramana is not there. Shruti, etc. The specific mention or indication that pramana to say that these mantras are part of karma. Such a pramana vakyam is not there. Indication is not there. Not only pramana is not there, there is also virodha. Contradiction, opposition is there. Virodha also is there. That he points out the virodha is there. This virodha being there, right? Virodha being there, this cannot be, mantras cannot be part of karma. Karma kanda assumes, goes along with the Purusha Buddhi, Aham Karta, Aham Bhokta, I am a doer, I am an enjoyer, I am a samsari, I am a jiva, Vedaha, Satyaha. This is the Purusha Buddhi Siddha, it is, right? Already in the mind of that person is there, this thinking is there. Veda just goes along with that, does not negate that. Does not negate I am Karta. This Buddhi is not negated in the Karma Kanda generally. But even there, even in Karma Kanda, there are some portions where this Kartritva also is mentioned. It is not true. It's all mentioned is there. One Swami has compiled, taken from the various Karma Kanda portions where the Atma Swarupa also is indicated there. It's there. One Swami has done this work. See, even in Karma Kanda, such words you see that, right? That is the point. But then even though those are there, but they are not highlighted there. That is not the primary purpose of those Karma Kanda portions. It is said, but then, occasionally it is said, but then not with the Tatparya, in the sense that the person who is committed to karma is not drawn towards such appellation, such words, like it's not there. Like even in the familiar Sandhya Vandana, every day people do that. No? They say, Asav Adityo Brahma, Brahmaivahamasmi is there. Asav Aditya Brahma, every day this person chants. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, 3 times a day at least this fellow says, Asav Aditya Brahma. This Aditya, the Surya, the brilliant sun that we see in the Devata is verily Brahma, not separate from Brahma. Hiranyagarbha, Virat, Surya is Virat, right? Vishwarupa, it is Virat it is. And then, so Aditya Brahma, Brahmayeva Ahamasmi, I am verily Brahman, I am verily Brahma. Aditya is Brahma, I am Brahma, it is said. Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Aditya stands for Adibhuta and Adidaiva. I, Adhyatma, all are Brahma. Adhyatmam, Adibhutam, Adidaivam, all are Brahma. Sarvam Brahma. Very clear is there. And not only that, Brahmaivahamasmi we can take Mahavakya also, right? Jiva Brahma Aikyam also we can take. But then, chanted every day. But, next, that's all. What is the meaning of this? We say every day, Aham Brahma, Brahmaivahamasmi. What is this? No. No, there is no focus, there is no attraction towards that center in the Karma Kanda. One is busy doing all that, this and that, and doing busy that. Of course, it is part of, it's all Tantra, it's all part of the Karma it is, but then one is committed to that only, not to looking into this. Therefore, even though in some places in the Karma Kanda itself, Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa is indicated, right? Still, that is Tatparyena Tatra Na Uktam. Tatparyena it is not pointed out there, discussed there. Maybe sometime later on when the fellow grows mature enough, then the person is ready to look into whether the Kartrutva is real, is it the truth of me. When the person starts looking into that, starts understanding that, maybe then that person will come in handy. This I used to chant. Aham Brahmasmi. I used to chant this. I used to say every day. Sandhya Vandana time I used to say. Brahmaivahamasmi used to say. Yeah. Connects later. Not when the person is a karmi, but committed to karma, phala. But then, when the person is committed to this Atma Swarupa, then discovery of one's own true nature, then the person remembers that Brahmaivahamni I used to chant. So that apata jnanam, right? That initial familiarity it gives. Like even parents take the children to different places and then familiarize the children, right? Give them the initial familiarity, which is very, very important, right? That apata jnanam is very, very important, right? Some familiarity is important. In Kerala, in South India, Kerala, there is this Sabarimala temple is there. Ayyappa Bhaktas are there. Now, millions and millions of people go. Earlier only from Kerala people used to go. Then we started with Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu people started to go. Then later on, Andhra, Karnataka joined. Now Maharashtra people also go to Sabarimala. Yeah. Odisha also. Millions go. Maharashtra. Some 20 years ago, nobody knew Sabarimala. In Maharashtra, nobody knew Sabarimala. Now everybody knows Sabarimala. Everybody knows. No. And there in the temple, beautiful temple, they follow all the meticulously, they follow traditions. In the temple entrance, there is written in Sanskrit, Devanagari, and Malayalam, Tattvamasi is written. Right? In Malayalam it is Tattvamasi written, and then in Sanskrit, Devanagari also Tattvamasi is written. And any person who can read Malayalam or the Devanagari will read Tattvamasi. This fellow has been going to Sabarimala for 12 years, 15 years. So every time go Tattvamasi. Don't know what is Tattvamasi. Now later on, have you seen this? Sabarimala ila nokindalle. So have you seen Sabarimala? No, I've seen this. Apata jnanam goes a long way. The initial familiarity goes a long way. Therefore, the mention of Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, etc. in the Karmakanda portion also helps the person later on, giving the initial familiarity. Fine, the person feels connected to what is being said. I know this, I've heard this, I've seen this, I've come across this, that is able to connect with what is being said. Therefore, alright. So, the mention of Atma Swarupa in Karmakanda is only for Apata Jnanam, some familiarity, Chitta Shuddhi, etc. It's all there. But then, Tatparyena, it is not there, it is not discussed there. And the Purva Mimamsa Shastram also does not spend much time on those sentences, those portions. Alright. But then, therefore, the Karmakanda focuses, the Purva Mimamsa, mention of Amnaya is only Karmakanda only. It leaves out Jnanakanda, Upanishad Bhaga, it leaves out. Even though various commentators like Sayanacharya, etc., when they have commented, when they write commentary on the Veda, they write the commentary on the Uttara Bhaga, Upanishads also they write. But then, Mimamsa they do not do separately, right? The sense that they take to the Mimamsa Shastra and then analyze, present separately. So, the Upanishad Bhaga, Karma Jnanakanda is a Pratak Shastram, and that is different from the Karmakanda. That is the Virodha, the opposition, the difference is mentioned. Bhashyakara mentions this. And therefore, because of this irreconcilable differences, to make one the other, right? Karmakanda cannot be made the Jnanakanda. Jnanakanda cannot be made the Karmakanda as part of Karmakanda. Of course, there is some connection, right? Adhikaritva, Chitta Shuddhi, that connection is there. Do karma as karma yoga, right? Then Chitta Shuddhi is there. Do Upasana for Chitta Ekagrata, that is Chitta Naischalyam is there. And then those two give Adhikaritva, etc. It's all connection is there. But then, one is not the other. So, therefore, Bhashyakara says here, Viruddhiyata, and therefore, mantras are not part of karma. That he explains in that sentence, Yatatmyam cha, etc. We will continue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Sishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om